What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Scheimer Fantasy Battle Report. Got another battle report for you today. It is the Road to Adepticon, round number 2. Guys, this is my battle report series. My name is James, and this is the second battle report I got to you for the old world. Guys, first battle report, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. It was against Luke Nickel at the Dice Dojo. Got a game against my brother this week. And it was basically he saw my video. We were talking about it. I was like, dude, let's get a game in. He hasn't played a game yet because he's still unfamiliar with the rules. I'm gonna put it to you this way: in this game, in this battle report, there's probably a lot of rules we messed up. I was trying to help him out as best as I can, but I'm forgetting rules too because there's just 3 editions stuck in my head, and it's trying to get the rules straight on which edition we're talking about here. And I'm not trying to assume, but mistakes happen. Anyways, I have been rebasing my miniatures. I know people are like, what? That's sacrilegious. You're rebasing? Yeah, I am totally rebasing. Just popping them off with my hands. My bare hands. I used to have strong hands. Anyways, and go ahead and just breaking off the bases, putting the new bases on, especially for my Black Orcs. I haven't done it to my Cave Goblins just yet. I will soon. I think I had to order up some 25mm bases. But besides that, go ahead and I did. And let me actually pull up my picture so I can see what the hell I'm talking about. Went ahead and I started working on this miniature that Scarlock gave me. Scarlock gave me this miniature right here. He really gave it to me for that goblin that's down there taking a shit. I'm going to go ahead and paint both of these up, though. Got my general. I had to increase his base size. I made this horse display where he just the wyvern is just eating the horse. And then you can see it in the actual battle report. I ended up doing some blood dripping from the wyvern's mouth. You can see that in a better picture. Went ahead and worked on my Squig Hopper here. My Squig Hopper is my new guy that's coming out. I call him the Big Cheese Man, the Big Gesso Man. And then I ended up working on my Boar Boys, rebasing them as well as my Black Orcs. You'll see that in a second. And I'm also trying to work on some new Black Orcs. My Black Orcs are just a hodgepodge of old GW models, Avatars of War, Rackham, and new GW models. As you can see here, boom! Let's go over the list, what my brother brought. Let's go over what I brought, and yeah, let's do this. I went ahead and I gotta find the new recruit. We'll go over my list because that's the first one that popped up. I ended up taking a Black Orc War Boss on a Wyvern. He has a great weapon. I did have originally. I had the Ogre Blade. What was happening was the Ogre Blade was I was constantly rolling 1s on the D3, and I felt like for 60 points, it's something that sometimes works. And then there's a lot of battles that I was getting into that I didn't even need the D3 wounds. I do see the potential in it. Having a great weapon on a Black Orc, they got the Chopper rule anyways. It lets me reroll wounds if I roll a 1, especially strength 7. And, you know, I was just like, let me just go with a great weapon. So I used that other 60 points on a Bedazzling Helm, giving him a better armor save as well as -1 to hit. It does come to play in this game a lot. Talisman of Protection, so he has a 5-up ward. And then I ended up taking a Goblin Odd Knob, which is my Super Baxter. Baxter the Pyromaniac. He is on the Chicken Rock. So basically, Baxter is running around with the... In this game, it says Idol Mork here, but it's not the Idol Mork. I think I took the other item. It was like the glowy green amulet, and then the Ruby Ring of Ruin. I got a Night Goblin boss, which was the Big Castle. You just saw him. All I got on him is a great weapon and some armor save. I got 20 Black Orcs. The Black Orcs do have the big red raggedy flag. And then they have... I basically took great weapons on all of them with shields on all of them. I know that the Motley Crew, I could pick like, 9 of them have great weapons, but 9 of them have shields. I think that's a little cheesy to do it that way. Just give me all one weapon or the other. I'm fine with it. I don't care if I'm paying the tax. They're coming out of core anyways. The Goblin Spider Riders, they're just chaff. And then I got 15 Night Goblins. I think in this game I ended up taking 20 Night Goblins with 3 Fanatics. I don't remember what I took out. I think I had maybe like an item missing or something. I don't remember, or I didn't have a champion in the Orc Boar Boys. I don't remember, but the Boar Boys, I have 7 Boar Boys. I have them with cavalry spears. They have the Banner of the Butcher, and because they're biggins, Banner of Butcher, and cavalry spears, they have a charge that's going to put them at strength 6 with armor piercing, I think 1, but armor bane with the biggins. I got an Arachnarok Spider, the A-Rock, and that's it. That's my list, 2,000 points. Let's go over my brother's list if I can find it really quick. Hoping I can find it really quick. Hoping. Yes, here you go. All right. He ended up taking a Butcher, level 2 Elementalism, a Tyrant with Ogre Blade and the Spangle Shard that will come into play on this. He did take a Kin Eater big name on him. He took 9 Iron Guts. He took them with Cannibal Totem, which I'm going to put the rules up here. The Cannibal Totem allows him to get regen, but at a cost. We'll go over that later. The Ogre Bulls, he didn't know he had to actually bring the Ogre Bulls. It's a requirement in the Ogre list that you have to bring them. He found out the day of, so the day of, he's like, oh shit, let me just bring a Ogre Dart. He brought 2 Iron Blasters and 2 Stone Horns. The Tyrant, is also on a Stone Horn, so he has 3 Stone Horns in this list. That is insane. Alright, if I haven't shown you the pictures already, let's go over it really quick. Here's the pictures of my Black Orcs. With the big red raggedy flag. I have my cave goblins here. Like I said, I haven't rebased them just yet, but I've been playing them like they were 25 mil. Got my A-Rock, my General War Boss Tooth, as he's munching down. I told you I got that blood effect going there, man, just chomping on that horse. Got my Cave Squig here, the big cheese. I got Baxter the Pyromaniac. I couldn't find the miniature I had on it last time. I found it now, but it was at the house. I thought I brought it with me. I got my 5 Spider Riders, and I got my Boar Boys. For my brother, these are his Iron Guts. The guy on the left is his Butcher. This is probably my favorite painted banner that I ever painted, and it's not even on my freaking army. Here's his Ogre Dart unit, the 3 of them. He has Stonehorn on the left. This is just the regular Stonehorn. The one on the right with the War Elephant, that is actually his general that he took on there. Then he has this big old Mammoth Man as the other Stonehorn, and then he has 2 Iron Blasters in the back. And then this guy right here who's getting stomped on. I got to give my brother for creativity here. Okay, he had him perfectly stomped in half. His feet on one side, his upper body the other. This guy's known as Neil. Anybody who knows me for a long time knows who Neil is. That's Neil, the Dark Elf. Alright. As for magic, I ended up rolling a 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Wog, which is Bad Moon Rising, Evil Sun Shining, Here We Go, and Foot of Gork. I did swap out the Bad Moon Rising for the Itchy Nuisance. The main reason is Itchy Nuisance is cheaper to cast, and Itchy Nuisance has minus toughness versus minus weapon skill, so I'd rather have the minus toughness on there. For my brother, he ended up rolling Wind Blast, and then I think he had Magical Travel Mystical Pathway, but he changed that out for Toothcracker. Toothcracker, for the record, I don't think he fails to cast it once. What we tried to figure out, more or less, it's kind of the adjustment period for my brother as well, because he's not used to playing this game. It's the fact that he has to cast it at the beginning of every round, and sometimes we're like, whoops, we forgot to do it at the beginning, we're going to do it right now. So that's about it. The Wind Blast he took, we'll see how it goes in the game. Alright. I don't have a picture of deployment. A lot of talking's going on, and coincidentally, we were supposed to play at Grognard Games. That ended up falling through, and then we ended up switching to the Dice Dojo. Dice Dojo was having a old world day that day. I'm in the Discord group in the Dice Dojo, and I asked if anybody wants to play a 2,000 point game. Maybe I could get more than one battle report up for the day. If not 2,000 points, 1,250, because 1,250 is the amount of points needed for the tournament in Indiana. Their response was everybody's playing about 500 points to 1,000 points. My girlfriend's response, or fiance I should say, my fiance's response is 500 points. What the fuck are you bringing? A spider? I'm like, I don't know. They want to play 500 point games. They wanted to play many little games for learning experiences. Me and my brother are ready just to play it. Play the game. I want to get ready for Adepticon. We're only going to get there for playing the proper amount of points and see what we can play. So I don't have a picture of deployment. Let's go into turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn number 1. I go ahead and I do, in the strategy phase, I do Evil Sun Shining. I get it off. I failed the Here We Go. It didn't even matter. We're too far to charge anything. I found out, though, I actually probably can charge across the table in 24 inches on the Boar Boys. Definitely can do it on Wolf Riders, but Boar Boys, they get, was it 13 base with the Swift Stride, gets them to 16 maximum charge range, but they could go further, obviously, with the dice roll. And then they have Here We Go, puts them at 19. And then if I could get the banner, we'll put them at 22. And then I would just need a second Here We Go. That'll put them at 24. That is crazy. Crazy. Holy shit. Anyways. Go ahead and I do Evil Sunshine. I just went on a tangent there. Okay. I go ahead and you'll see the whole terrain after a couple of these pictures. But I go ahead and I just move my spider up and I take a dangerous terrain. Now I go ahead and I roll it for the dangerous terrain and I get a 1 in the blood pool. I'm like, oh, whatever. I have moved through cover. I get to re-roll the 1 and I get a second 1. I'm like, son of a bitch. I was all cocky telling my brother the rule. Like, haha, look, I get to re-roll it. And I fucking fail it twice. You can see my big cheese up there. He's just running up ahead. And then this is turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. You can see basically the rest of my movement. You can see the rest of the terrain. What ended up happening was, since the building was kind of in a central location, my brother just deployed everything on the left half, leaving the right half open. I moved the Spider Riders in the woods up there to the right. I was planning on just kind of either chaffing something on the right, because I think they were the first thing I dropped. We're just playing a classic battle line, whatever it's called. And again, it's mainly for the learning experience. But my plan here was to come around the side and start either pepper spraying with poison or get in the way, or either one or the other, you know. I moved the big cheese there by the building. I'm not too worried because he can't really wheel to me and make the charge with his ogres, so that, like, it is what it is. And then I move my general behind the hill so I don't get hit with an Iron Blaster turn 1. I know the spiders are going to get shot turn 1. And I put the Boar Boys on the hill with giving him a maximum charge range with the Rocker Rocks. I think I'm just outside of the maximum, so I can't even declare the charge. The Goblins do not push up yet. They will soon, to pop out the Fanatics. And then, yeah, I'm just going to magic him for the first turn. Over here, shooting phase, I go ahead and I shoot 3 poison shots. 3 poison shots into his Iron Blaster, and he fails all 3 armor saves right away. This is a common occurrence with my brother. The first few rolls, he's rolling 1, 2s, and 3s, literally in the beginning of the game. So I go ahead and I get off 3 wounds on the Iron Blaster with just bow shots. I go ahead and I drop off a foot of Gork here. It goes off. He can't stop it. Now, remember, his Butcher is in that unit of Iron Guts in the middle there on the right. That guy is like 27 or 28 inches away from my wizard, so he cannot even try to dispel unless he gets a Fated Dispel. I fail to roll a Fireball, just straight up. And then I don't think I have another magic missile. So that's basically it. That's the end of my turn. I go ahead and I shoot on the right. I think I shot into his big unit, and he made his armor saves. So yeah, that's turn 1. It's going to be turn 1, or Ogre Kingdom. Ogre Kingdom, turn 1. Since his ogres are in dart formation, right here, 3 ogre bulls in dart formation, they have a march range of 18 inches. That is insane. Insane. That is actually pretty cool, though. It is a great piece of chaff from my brother. But what ends up happening is he's going to go ahead and stick me here. I'm hoping to get him on the terror check, but then I realize terror doesn't work the same because I think he causes fear. If not, I think he passes his terror check anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of looking to see if these ogre bulls actually cause fear, though. Bull charge. Let's see. Ogre bulls, they do cause fear. Okay, interesting. Alright. So he's going to chaff me there. He's going to push up ahead, and he realizes, at this point, we both realize I forgot to move the Foot of Gork. So the Foot of Gork just, it pummels through the Stonehorn, the other Stonehorn, and I thought it was the Lead Belcher. I was wrong. When I got to the other side, I realized it totally just avoided them. It probably should have been a little bit further back, like closer to the ass of the mammoth, but I ended up doing 3 wounds to the middle Stonehorn, 2 wounds to the other Stonehorn, and 1 wound to the Iron Blaster. He takes away the wound from the Iron Blaster later when I tell him I think I messed up. That's it for his moving. Moving, he just kind of moves up a little bit to threaten me, and he's going to start shooting with his cannon. First cannon shoots into the A-Rock. Now, it shoots in, hits it, and then does max wounds. 4 wounds. 4 wounds. What the hell, man? Oh, that was brutal. This one shoots at Super Baxter, but ends up getting a misfire and can't shoot ever again. I think this one just breaks. That's it for his turn. He, like I said, he got Toothcracker off, and then I think the Wind Blast was just too far, or he failed. I think he was just too far. Let's go start off turn 2. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I'm going to take this charge. Now, I did do Evil Sun Shining again, and I did do Here We Go. And this is where I figured out, holy shit, my charge range with these guys is ridiculous. Right now, it's a 19 max charge range, but I could easily get, let's see, 6, 3, 7, so that's like 22 inches. That's a crazy 22-inch charge on this guy, this unit. So I charge into the middle Stonehorn. It's the weakest one. I'm just trying to start getting points. I get in, though. Boom! Now, I did charge the Ogres on the right. They don't deal with terror. They don't care. I'm just figuring the spider's going to kill it right away. I actually wanted to get the big cheese into his his Iron Guts, but I rolled really low. I think I rolled like a 7 or an 8 or something, and I was like, ugh, and I just stopped right in front of him. I'm like, you know what, that's fine. I'm going to use him as chaff. What I did here, I made 2 mistakes, okay? First mistake was I moved my spider up, and there's a reason for this. My brother kind of talked me into this. He said, just move your... I said, man, I want to get my spider behind the Boar Boys so they could get the Evil Sun Shining, re-rolling 1s, armor piercing +1, and it'll help me kill the Stonehorn, right? I go, but I don't want to get close enough to your other Stonehorns. And my brother goes, well, realistically, you know, and I do know this, that I can stay back and just shoot more magic missiles and try to poison the rest of this shit off, right? He goes, or we could see what my models do. And I was like, fine, let's get into a fight. So I put Super Baxter in a spot where I know I'm going to get charged by the Stonehorn. But I put my general protecting Super Baxter so I could countercharge. I know Baxter could take 1 stubborn check and live fine. So I'm going to let my general just kind of countercharge and set him up in the future. I move my goblins up ahead, and one thing that's not in the freaking rulebook is fields. And as you can see, that's a field. Because fields are not in the rulebook, we played it as soft terrain, similar to like a hill here, that would give soft cover, right? I'm going to release my Fanatics. I totally forgot the fact that they could just die in the terrain. Okay? And that's a mistake. I'm just calling myself out on it. I already told him about it. I was on the phone with him earlier today. Like, ugh, I just noticed that. As for shooting, I think I failed to wound. I think I did wound the cannon again, but I failed to break through his armor. His armor just absorbed everything, more or less. And then, boom, 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 boom. I think it's time for combat. Combat! The Boar Boys all hit. Now, I only got 4 in the front, but they got Furious Charge, all right, which gives them an extra attack per guy, all right? And then they have, like I said, they already strength 6, and I got re-rolling 1s on the Evil Sun Shining, as well as re-rolling 1s on Choppas. Dude, I literally blow this Stonehorn up. I mean, I blow this Stonehorn up, okay? I got AP 1 with Cavalry Spear, AP 1 with Evil Sun Shining, and I got Armor Bane, which I got 2 Armor Banes off, going through his armor. And then I think I did like 3 more wounds, and he couldn't handle it. It was just too much. So, boom! Just destroyed that guy. Nobody panics. I overrun on purpose so I don't lose my Boar Boy unit. I overrun that far, right there. 13 inches to get over on that side. Leaving myself pretty open on his turn. Over here, I only kill off 1 Ogre. Okay? Only kill off 1 Ogre. And I forgot to stomp. I forgot that you can stomp on basically everything in this game. So, I kill off 1 Ogre. He doesn't do any wounds to me. I have a flank and 3 wounds. He falls back in good order. I try to restrain. I think I do restrain. But he only runs back like 4 inches or so. And he's just staying in my way. He's actually causing him to be chaffed. Or basically all of us to be chaffed, more or less. It's going to start off turn 2, Ogre Kingdoms. Ogre Kingdoms turn 2, I release the Fanatics. Now, they wouldn't stand up on these fields because the Cownado is a little bit top-heavy. Again, this shouldn't happen. This is an illegal move, but we played it. I totally missed it, and I'll learn from my mistakes. I release my Fanatics here in front of his General, so that way if his General charges anything, he's going to take 3 Fanatics to the face, right? He does declare a lot of charges here. He gets off his Toothcracker. He charges his cannon into my Super Baxter. He charges his Stonehorn into Super Baxter. And then he charges his General into Super Baxter. Okay? The General is the only one I probably would be like, let me just challenge if he does get in. What he failed on here is the General Charge. The General Charge, because of the wheel, he's going to fall short. Okay? He does hit 2 of my Fanatics. My Fanatics hit him. They do like 4 wounds. I watch my brother just roll the dice, and he rolls a 4, 4, 4, 5, or whatever. And he makes every ward save on the Spangle Shard. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I actually helped him try to make this list. And I was like, dude, I don't like that Spangle Shard. Because if you roll a 1 on the Spangle Shard, it just blows up. And I was like, dude, just take a freaking 5-up ward. Screw it. And he's like, no, I'm taking the Spangle Shard. And I'm watching him roll all these 4s. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, you lucky motherfucker. Anyways, he fails that charge. The other 2 will get in. Boom! Just like so. Alright, now, the Fanatics, I don't know what to do with the Fanatics for the simple reason that the Fanatics, when you release them on the compulsory move phase, I can move them any direction I want, the first turn. But since he ran into them with his General, I just assumed I can't move them. I know there's not a rule on there that says anything otherwise, but I kind of felt it a little cheesy if I didn't. So I just randomized the 2 that he hit, but I threw the other one through his Iron Guts here. It does do a couple wounds onto them, but because of Toothcracker, it was very minimal. As you can see, he goes ahead and he moves his guys there. Even though they rally, they can move, and they're going to just re-chaff me, more or less. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. His freaking Iron Blaster. Oh my god, this thing. It's only 1 Iron Blaster. The other one's not even shooting. And he fucking nails my Ragnarok. And he max wounds again. Son of a bitch, man. Oh, that was brutal. At this point, I forgot that they're Iron Guts. I thought they were just Ogre Bulls. And I was pleasantly surprised to find out when my guy's about to fight them. As for over here, his fight with my Super Baxter. Baxter ends up getting 4 wounds from his impact hits alone, but I was able to kill off the cannon, and then I was able to stand and shoot too, but I think he just armor saved it. His Stonehorn is going to go ahead and do a couple more wounds, I think, or I think that's it. I think he just does 4 max. I'm going to lose combat, but I am stubborn, and I'm going to run away a couple inches away, and he catches me there, setting up my counter charge. Alright, it's going to be Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. My War Boss just charges. I think I did Wog, by the way. Which the Wog gives me a reroll once. Alright, because I can't cast any spells. No spells are cast because my wizard's in combat, which is one reason why I probably would never charge my wizard in. I'm trying to use my goblins as chaff, but they are failing because of the 1-inch rule. Yeah. I charge here to get rid of these motherfuckers who are just been in my way the whole time. My spiders shoot off one of his iron guts, which is kind of cool. And as you can see in the background, my fanatics are just kind of going wherever the hell they please. Honestly, one of them, I think, rolled doubles. One of them runs off the table, and the other one just kind of runs around like an asshole for like the rest of the game. But close combat, let's go over here. This charge right here. My general just whoops the shit out of his Stonehorn. His Stonehorn was already wounded. Between my general and the spider, which are going... the general goes first, just basically beats the shit out of it. He does get a couple more wounds onto Baxter, though. He ends up doing, it looks like, 3 more wounds onto Baxter. And this is how the table looks at the end of combat, okay? This is a start of turn 3, Ogre Kingdoms. Ogre Kingdoms turn 3. This moment right here, my brother said, this is what I want to see. I want to see my general versus your general, and I want to see my iron guts against your black orcs. I said, sure, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, right? I can't do anything about it. You can see my boar boys turn around, by the way. He goes to do Toothcracker. He rolls a miscast, gets barely controlled power, and then I dispelled it. So it didn't even happen. He goes and charges into my unit, charges into my general, and then this guy shoots Baxter and fucking nails Baxter and kills him. This fucking cannon is the fucking MVP of his game. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. It's not done, by the way. It's not done. It continues shooting for the next 2 turns. Over here, close combat, he ends up killing off 3 of my orcs. I think that's all he killed, though, was 3 orcs. I think I made a lot of armor saves. I took hand weapon shield so I could fight at the same time, basically. Or try to stay alive more. I go back and I think I only do like 2 wounds, okay? So what ended up happening here, here's the combat res calculator. Say I got 2 wounds. I got a banner, but I got the big raggedy rag flag banner. And then I got a rank. I think I only did 1 wound. So I did a wound, 2 ranks, 2 banner points, and 1 for combat close order. Puts me at 6. He did 3 wounds. He has a rank, a banner. He's also close order. So it's a tie. We actually don't go anywhere. We're stuck in combat. And I don't think either one of us bought a musician. We're both lazy like that. Holy shit. Okay, over here, he charged into my general. He ends up doing a... Oh, I closed my page on me. He ends up doing like a single wound, I think, to my general. No, he did nothing. He did nothing. What ends up happening is he swings at his impact hits. I think he just flubbed. He rolled like 2s on the impacts, which I'm like, oh, thank God. My guy's tough 6. It's not that easy to impact hit him. Now, he goes ahead and swings with his Ogre Blade. And he needs to hit me on 5s. And he rolls all 4s and a couple 1s. Only re-rolling 1. He he only hits once. And he goes to wound and I make the ward save. I go back and I do, I think like 2 or 3 wounds with my great weapon. And I watched his Spangle Shard just go brink, 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 4, 4, 5. I'm like, this guy, man. So nothing happens. We're stuck in combat there. We're stuck in combat in the other combat, okay? Which is actually good for me on this side, okay? Because on turn 4, Orcs and Goblins turn 4, I charge my Goblins. And for the record, the last round, I reformed my Goblins to 5 wide. I charge my Goblins, and I charge my Boar Boys, and I charge my other Goblins. Both the Goblin units going into the Iron Guts, the Boar Boys going into the rear of his general. My plan here is just to challenge out. I don't even have to challenge out, but if I challenge out, I'm going to hopefully do very minimal damage or whatever, but I'm going to have a rear, a banner, a combat order, and a rank for 5 combat res in the rear, okay? So no matter what, as long as we can score low and nobody gets a spike in damage, I'm going to win this combat, okay? Get in. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody nails it. Everybody nails it. That freaking fanatic still just kind of woo back there. All right. Combat. Let's start with the big unit. This big blob of mass and goblins. Trying to do it in order, okay? I didn't take anything special on my goblins. I didn't take nets. I didn't take spears. I didn't take bows. Nothing special. So I only got 5 dudes on the left attacking, I think I might have done a wound. My Spider Riders do a lot better than my Goblins. My Spider Riders do like 5 wounds, a lot of poison hits, so they're starting to do wounds. I end up killing off 2 guys, and then my Orcs ended up killing off 1 more. Before he attacks back, or actually he starts to attack back, and he realizes, oh shit, I forgot I have a regen from the Cannibal Totem. So he rolls it, he gets 1 guy back. Now here's the issue, is it's hard when you're doing a combo charge like this on Ogres to pull the bodies, because you're, normally when you're fighting a unit in the front, you're just pulling the bodies off the front per wound. So like, say if I did right there 9 wounds, he would have 3 guys missing in the front. But the problem is, since I did a couple wounds from one side, a couple wounds from the other side, and a couple wounds from the front, they all didn't pull off. He's getting basically all of his attacks back, and he just beats the shit out of my units. He kills 5 spiders, he kills 2 goblins, and I think the Black Orcs just kind of armor saved them all. So that's about it for combat. Now, he has 5, 6, 7 wounds, 8 for the banner, 9 for the rank, and 10 for combat order. Okay, so he should have 10 combat order. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he should have 10. I don't know why I have 8 here. Okay, for me, I should have 14. But because he did the regens, he said 11. I told him this afterwards. This is one of the mistakes that we made. The regens don't help you for combat res. You're still going to get your combat res on there. It just helps you from dying. So I should have 14 combat res to his 10. I win combat. He fails the roll. He's going to fall back in good order. Okay? The problem is, now that I have 2 units in combat with him, he's going to run for my bigger unit, which is my Black Orcs. He does fall back in good order, and I can't catch him in the flank again, unfortunately. So I'm going to just let the Black Orcs go forward into him, and I think I even fail it, I want to say. I'll see in a second. Yeah, I do. I do fail it. So nobody touches him, and he's going to get away with this. And it's going to give him a turn to do his magic. Up here, I roll 1 wound. 1 wound, okay? And he rolls the Spangle Shard, and I watch him roll that 1. And I'm like, oh my god, it's broken. Oh my god. So now it's a field day. Now I'm like, he has nothing. He has armor save that's non-existent to my general. He ends up doing 2 wounds, but I do win by combat like 5. He's going to make his fallback in good order check. I don't even know if I think this is a mistake. I think if I have 7 and just say he has 10, but the guys in the back are 2 apiece, and there's 8 of them, that's 16 plus 7 is 23. Yeah, he would have fled. This was a mistake by me. I didn't even catch it till right now in the video. But he should have fled entirely, because I outnumber him by double his unit strength, and I won combat. But we played it as he fell back in good order. He's going to run. He gets on the other side of my general. My general will chase, and that's where that is going to end. All right? This is how the table looks. It's Ogre's turn. I don't know, 4, I think it was. Turn 4. He does Toothcracker. His cannon decides he's going to shoot into my boars, but he realized, and I didn't know this, I found this out the same moment he did, that if he aims it in a certain spot and it accidentally goes too far, it will bounce into my general. And he's like, oh, so what happens if I bounce it into your general? I'm like, is this even legal? So I go to one of those tables, people are playing the 500-point games. I was like, does anybody know the answer to this? And they're like, oh, you could totally accidentally shoot into combat. So I asked the Juice Crew, and the Juice Crew, Joe went off like, it's never an accident. But I understand it's an accident. I totally get what my brother was saying here. Like, I'm not disagreeing that he can't do it. It's just I didn't know you could do it. So he's gonna shoot towards the boar boys and hope to bounce into my general, that cannon. Okay. For the record, he does get it. He does hit. It does kill 2 boar boys, and then hits my general, but my general ward saves. Over here, he ended up killing off 7 of my Black Orcs before I even got a chance to swing, and that is going to win him this combat. I think I have the double banner and a rank, so I'm down by like maybe like 4 or 3, and he is going to chase. Now, what happens is I rolled the dice to see if I fall back in good order. I rolled double 6s. So this unit just breaks, and he's going to chase me down, and this is a huge swing for him as they just run off they basically run off the table as he chases me down. He got my banner, and he's going to clean up these points. My goblins do stick there, though, on their check. But yeah, he's going to just get those points. Over here, since again, like I heard, he doesn't have the Spangle Shard anymore. All he has is the armor. I wail on him. As you can see, I charged in with my Boar Boys and my General on the following turn, I think it was. And I'm just racking up wounds on this guy. This is my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 5, I think it is. I charge in here, and my goal here is hoping he declines or does not challenge, and then I can just hit him with the Boar Boys and do extra wounds. Okay? Over here, I turn the Goblins around. I don't know what to do with these Goblins. I don't have bows on them. I don't have anything fancy. It's just like 17 dudes that just have hand weapon shield. They cannot take out the Iron Guts. I don't even think they can take out the cannon. So I'm just like walking around here just like, I'm going to turn around, hope I get combat res on something or use them as chaff. Over here, what ends up happening is I do not declare a challenge. He thinks about it. We talk it out. He's like, if I challenge you, you're going to fight me with a general. And he's barely doing any wounds on my general. He goes, what happens if I don't challenge? I go, what happens is you get to kill my Boar Boys, which that's a possibility. But I'm going to get my attacks with the Boar Boys. Alright? So he's like, you know what? I want to do that so I can thunderstomp your Boar Boys. And if I live. I said, okay. With no Spangle Shard, he did not live. He got popped. Boop. Right away. Holy shit. He calls the game there. Okay, this is turn 5. Mainly because he's going to turn his ogres around. I'm going to turn my orcs around. We might fight one more. We might just avoid the fight because I don't need to fight him. And I just have to avoid his cannon shot. So we just call the game there. Now, just to let you guys know the score. I ended up killing off 1266 in his points, plus 100 more for his general. Okay, for a total of 1366. He killed 1330 of mine and 50 more points for the banner, which puts him at 1380. It's a tie, basically. It's like a less than 20-point difference. So, yeah, we ended up in a tie. I mean, if you want to count it as a small win for Jesse, it's like a 14-point win for Jesse, but that's like, yeah, negligible. Holy shit. Now, I didn't have a video of him talking about the game afterwards. I kind of missed out on that because I went to go check out the other games going on. I'll talk about that in a second. His reaction, his first initial reaction was we played that game in about 2 hours. And he goes, for something I don't even know the rules on, he goes, we barely spent a little bit over 2 hours, and that was with us going through the book. He goes, the more you know the game, it's going to be really fast games. And I do appreciate that. I think that this game is much faster than previous editions of other games. And this game. Second off, his reaction was immediately, how do I fix my list? Okay? I'm struggling with that on my list because I haven't had a bad game yet. I've had a lot of close calls or maybe games that, like, it was a big swing, I did something and I won, but I haven't had a bad game yet to be like, this is a weakness, I need to get rid of this unit or change this. And I don't know if that's just the old world, I don't know if that's Orcs and Goblins, but right now I'm just kind of sticking with the same formula. The Warboss Dread on the Wyvern, Baxter on the Spider, and then just kind of having fun with the spiders. and the level 4 Wog. Besides that, I mean, I've tried around, just to give you guys an idea, because I know that you've only seen 2 videos, but I've actually had about a dozen games or so. I've tried Savage Orcs. I've had 1 game with success with Savage Orcs, and then every other game they just kind of frenzy charge into other stuff. I've tried Trolls. I like the Trolls, but they're kind of expensive for what they do. And then I've tried Giants, and the Giants, I love Giants, but they're a little too random for me, and every time I needed something to go off, I got the other thing. Besides that, I think my brother said he had fun. We're going to try to get another game in next week to fix up his list again, so you're going to probably see more battle reports from that. I also talked to the guys who were there from the old world playing. You could tell they were Age of Sigmar guys, or these are people I just don't know. There's a lot of them. There's probably like a good 8 players there that I didn't ever meet before at the dojo, which is kind of funny because I am near the dojo. I live like several blocks away from this place. I've never met any of these guys before until this day. You can see this guy had like a blood vampire court. He had 100 skeletons. These models are kind of cool. Let me zoom in on these. Are these like Age of Sigmar models? I'm assuming. I like the foliage. I like the trees. I like the giant hay in the background there. I really like the models. I'm wondering which models these are. But you can see he just has a giant brick of 100 of them. Yeah, I think this was a 1,000-point game they were playing, and then I told them like I'm looking forward to getting 1250 games in and the 2000 game in to practice for Adepticon as well as the IndieCon or Indie GT, whatever it is. So yeah, that's my game, man. I gave you what my brother's feedback was. The one thing I need to do here is I need to contact, it's not Claes anymore, I think it's Dan, his name is, from movementtray.com to get better trays for my guys. I'm just kind of playing with what I have right now that I haven't painted up yet, but in general I need to get the actual size trays. It's just that I have to get the bases already, and I was trying to figure out what units to bring. So that's all, in there. Alright, I still need to get my magic cards printed up, but besides that, I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I enjoy making them. I'm going to get you more videos as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to try to get some more games in at the dojo and getting ready for this tournament. Alright, hope you guys enjoy that, and until next time, take care. Peace.